Hey, you guys, my guest is going to join in a couple of minutes, so stay in. This is a really important conversation we're about to have, especially if you're interested in improving your brand's visibility, or if you are thinking about launching a business, having a graphic artist, graphic designer, developer. Um, is super important. I understand you can do a lot of things in Canva and word swag, but it's nothing like somebody that know Illustrator and Photoshop backwards and forwards. I'll All right, that was Tasha Cobb Leonard with You Know My Name. Congratulations to her and her husband. They recently announced the adoption of their baby boy. I know they've had him for a few months, but they just recently announced that addition to their family. They are a blended family. Her husband had children from a previous relationship. So it's beautiful for her to be so vocal and such an advocate of adoption, because there's so many children that need a great home. So, and I can just tell the excitement through her Instagram page. And so you are tuned into the WGLB Monday Morning Mix. It is 9:28 a.m. on Monday, August 9th. I'm your host, Chantel McKenzie. In just a moment, I have my next guest of the morning, my last guest of the morning, Sierra Currie, the owner of True Visions Design, is going to join me in a moment, and we're just going to have a talk. And so I just can't wait for you guys to hear what she has to say. She has definitely become one of my favorites, and she's so talented. So I'm excited to have her. And I think she just called in. We ready? And do I have Sierra Currie on the line with me?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm great. As I mentioned before, Sierra is the CEO, owner, lead designer, developer of True Visions Design. And I wanted to have Sierra on this morning along with Jaquila, who was on before, because we have some millennial business women out here doing their thing and giving God all the glory. And these two women definitely exemplify that every single day, and they make me proud. So I'm proud to have you guys with us this morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, and it's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. So Sierra's being, she's so humble and sweet, but she is definitely one of the most sought after graphic designers in the city of Milwaukee. You know, she just hit the block, and she hit the block hard. And what I love about C, as I call her, is that she's so organized. She has her, I mean, like if you walk in her office, she got a board. She know what's coming and going. All of the things Jaquila was talking about with your accountant and the taxes and paying yourself for this. I mean, this is a mogul. Sierra Currie is a mogul. I mean, I'm old enough to be her mama, and she be teaching me some stuff, and I just value our relationship so much. But share with the individuals listening how you got into graphic design.
So I always tell this story. Well, before I even did graphics or anything entrepreneurial, I was doing art from high school or before that middle school. And when I was always, doing the projects given, my art piece was something that stood out, and I won contests and all that good stuff. Sold art and had art in museums in the South where I'm from. But eventually, when I was doing art, I was in the car on the road, looked up and saw a billboard, and something came to me. I looked at it and I said, "That's what I want to do." I said digital art, and that's what I called it. I didn't know what graphic design was. So from there, moving here, I went to college for graphic design and got my associates. And since then, I've been doing digital art.
Well, and you do it very well. And it's so critical in this day and age that we live in this world of social media and so many people and the internet and websites. and with so many people needing different things. And you have such, I remember when I first launched my company, you designed my retractable banner, you designed my business cards, you designed my postcards. I mean, there were so many different facets of it. You used to design my tickets, for my events when we still had events with paper tickets.
Right.
And yeah, like, look, we don't even need paper tickets anymore. I used to call you every four, like, I need paper tickets again.
I need more.
Right, exactly. And so because people wanted to have them a tangible ticket. Now we just scan the QR codes in our phone. And so that's important too, is that graphics and the trends and what's happening is constantly evolving. And so as a creative, how do you stay on top of staying relevant, but also giving each of your clients a unique design?
Well, definitely always learning. I never know it all. So I'm constantly on YouTube and looking at different trends. And anything that I've learned in school, I still take note of those things. Because, of course, if you're paying to go to school, you want to use that knowledge. And they've given us different tools and resources to keep up with trends. So I do that, as well as social media. Social media always has, new things, what's popping, what they say, and
Mm-hmm.
and then also just being myself, because you don't want to lose who you are as an individual, because new things happen because people invent things as well. So also combining all those things, um, to learn new things and also creating new things.
I think what you said is so critical because you never, you and I collaborate a lot, where either I'm, the business consulting or the marketing consulting, and then you produce the actual aesthetic piece of it, the graphic piece of it. And we often talk about how amazing it is when we have an opportunity to collaborate with one another to push out a full project. But it's so important that you understand the client's heart, and if they are the client for you, because they may not be the
Yes.
client for us, just based on being authentic to yourself. And so many business owners aren't. I'll talk to someone and I'll say, well, I don't think I'm the one for you, but this person is. And that, as an entrepreneur, that's faith, because you walking away from some
Yes.
money.
Mhm. Mhm. That is so true, and I relate to that so much even recently. And even though I've been in business for a while, I'm never done learning and having experience with clients and getting to know what isn't working and what does work. And a client that I've experienced something with recently is I found out that she wasn't a client for me, and this wasn't in the beginning of the process. Um, but I will say, intuition or God gives you signs, and
Mm-hmm.
I kind of didn't follow those signs.
Yeah, you don't.
I
Yes.
thought
Mm-hmm.
I could be for her,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to also go with your intuition, even though it's business. You still have to know, you know, whatever you feel. People say don't put your feelings in it or involved in business, but that counts in a way that in the long run or in between the order, you're not experiencing some friction, or you find out this person wasn't for you,
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of already knew.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that experience. But yeah, and one scripture that I love, and this is in like the chapter Luke 16, how it explains the true riches and all those things,
Mm-hmm.
and put God first, not
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
put money before what you truly know and have passion for.
Amen. You just said something so critical, and so I actually agree with don't have your feelings in it, but what you were saying is have God in it. And so you were saying, like,
Mm-hmm.
because what happens is we feel something in our spirit, as like our
Mm-hmm.
spirit is repelling against that other person's spirit for whatever reason. But sometimes we can be so holy, baptized, fire filled, that we like, oh, it's the God in me, we gonna get through this. And
We gonna get.
Right. Look, we gonna be all right. And it's like, God, what I've learned is like, he tell me up front, to your point, he show you like this not gonna be that. And you can push through it. He'll allow us to push through it, but that push be miserable. It'd be like, ooh. And so I think what you just said is so critical. The other piece is, now I got to get on my soapbox. I got a pet peeve about bad graphics. In the year 2021, there is not a reason for anyone to have bad graphics. But also, I want people to understand the job of the graphic designer, graphic artist. It is not their job to create your vision. It is their job to execute your vision. And so I'm sure you've run into this, because I've run into this. Explain to the individuals how best to approach a graphic design project when contracting a graphic design.
So when people say I'm ready, that keyword ready, people have to understand being ready means being prepared. Know what you want, have a like a somewhat of an idea. Have your vision prepared in a way as if you would have your business plan prepared. And it doesn't have to be in a extent of a full booklet, but just something where someone can relate to what you're passionate about. If you like, even how they have grants and everything out there now, if you want someone to believe in your vision, what would you tell them? How would you lay it out? What the strategy behind it. And we are not musicians.
Right.
We aren't musicians. We are not miracle workers. Sometimes it looks like it based on the product, but most of those beautiful designs that you see is still a collaboration with the individuals that have the vision.
That's so important, because you know uh, individuals think they can call you and say, I'm having an event on this today, and and it's gonna be here, and this the name of it. Make me a flyer, and it's like,
boom, like
okay.
boom.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, I cannot read your mind and, come up and produce something out of nowhere. Granted, I can design from my own perspective, but again, it'll be from my perspective.
Right.
If I have 5 different clients, they all have different, um, you know, jobs or different businesses.
Right.
I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a hairstylist anymore. But if I were any of those things, and you're putting the full creative on me, I'm gonna design an auto whatever if I was to have it.
Right.
If I was a hairstylist. If
right.
I was, you know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
And people need to understand it's a lot of work. And so when graphic designers are telling you you only get this many revisions, that you need to, that it is your responsibility to spell check things, that it is your responsibility to make sure the details are right, the dates are right, and everything before you hit approve. Now, of course, you and I talk about this all the time. Human error can come in, and if it's our fault, it's our fault. But if for some reason, you as the client, which no one should care about your business more than you, and so if you don't do diligence to catch it and you approve it, and then it has to go back and get reworked, or you had another thought after it was finished,
right after,
right?
See, and that's the problem with the creative being fully creative. If you're like do a freestyle type of ordeal, you're saying you want me to do that part, but then once you see it, you have a whole bunch of ideas, and that's not fair because it's like that's gonna come with revisions. That's gonna come with a full different layout, and it takes more time actually to do something more creative because you're not only thinking of how you would want it, but you're trying to think in your own head how this person would like something.
Right. And I also think it's important. I mean, you know me, I'm a huge advocate of clean graphics. And the reason I'm a huge advocate of clean graphics is because I come out of the corporate space. And when I look at the AT&Ts, the HBOs, the BETs, the Amazons, when I look at global brands who have owners who are billionaires, they are, it's clean, even if it's, this, if even if it's absolutely ridiculously creative, it's still, there's a clean aesthetic to it. There's a scale to how it's done. The pictures that are used are done well. Guys, please get professional pictures taken. You do not know what graphic designers have to do with a pixel, if they can even use it, to make a picture that was taken on your phone. Work out on the fly. Yes. And think about, what you're wearing, because you never know. Sierra could get a project. She's never met you before, but now you send your headshot over with some psychedelic shirt. She got to figure out how to make that work with whatever background that her client has decided that they want. And so it's just, there's so many different nuances to it. But it's such a, it's, to me, it's one of, I had Jaquila on accounting. If you ask me as a business consultant and marketer, what's next up on the spot, I would say, the three of us, and I don't mean us like you got to use us. I just mean
to do a whole class.
Right. But I'm just saying 3 people with those skill sets, meaning a business marketing consultant that can help you with strategy, a graphic designer that can help you aesthetically create your presence to the public, and then an accountant that can make sure that your money stays straight. Like, you're doing pretty good if you got those 3 under your belt, because it's so important. And it's important that you understand too what the trends are and what the vision is. I mean, the other piece of it too, I would add, is photographer is super duper important as well, and a copywriter, very important as well. And so all of those things. Now, one of the things that I know is happening across the country is the world opened up all at once. And not to say that you had a slow time, because COVID was not a slow time necessarily for graphic designers, because all everybody did was try to go virtual, and they wanted more graphics because they were trying to keep their business and their brand up virtually. But now the world is opened up. So now you have the virtual world and the regular world opening up. And let's talk about turnaround, because people, they do think y'all magicians. And it's like, well, can you get this for me later today?
Oh my, listen, I have, and that experience alone is teaching me how to conversate more in the beginning of the process before even getting started as well. Just because people do think things happen just in a snap. And it's unfair because there's a lot of other people that, are in need of business. But, geez, like, it's not like things can get produced so fast, and they can wait on other things is what the problem is. So all these other things that you can take the time on, but as soon as you get to the graphics part, you think that it has to be super fast in order to see a return on your investment, all those other investments, and it's pressure on the graphic designer.
Right.
If you've had this business idea for years, and then you come to the graphic designer expecting it to happen so fast, it isn't realistic. It just isn't.
Right. I agree. And and the thing is in this world of Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and Pinterest and Twitter, graphics are very critical. The way you present yourself visually is so important. However, also, graphics will not fill your event alone. And so there has to be this coordination of efforts, and so Sierra can create the most beautiful graphic in the world for you. If you don't tell the, or website, yes, but if you don't tell the story of what the graphic is supposed to convey, or if you never give the website out, you never tell anybody what the domain is.
Sitting there beautiful,
right?
With no traffic.
Exactly. She just created a monument for you. You just had, and we have clients that will pay us to launch and never launch, and so guess what? Thank you for the payment because we did the work, and so we hope you use it. But that is the truth. But also back to what I asked you, especially with clients who've been clients over and over again, as you grow and as the years grow, our businesses grow and the amount of clients that we have grow. And so, whereas maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you could ask for something and you could have had it in 24 hours, or you could have had it. Now you have to go in the queue.
You have to go in queue. Oh my God, that is so important for people to understand.
It is. And
unfortunately, it's some people that just don't understand.
And I don't understand it because you know what? You think about like Style Seat and all these other things. We're okay. My nail technician may be like, "Oh, I can't get you in for 2 weeks." My hairdresser may say, "Oh, I can't get you in to this day. I'm booked on this day." But for some reason, when it comes to graphics, websites, marketing, it's like I need it yesterday. Well, because now you're excited about
it.
Exactly.
Like, even if the time frame includes like my creative ability, because I am not always on. Every single morning I have a routine, and then life happens and all these other things come into play.
Say it again. Life happens. We have lives.
I said so many other things come into play. Like I have a routine in the morning, life happens, and I'm not always on. Like creative ability is not always on.
Right.
I may have 3 days, and then that third day I strike a super great idea for the business that came to me. So that comes into the time frame and a lot of other things. So
I think that's so important that people understand that all of us that provide a service are human. And just like, as the client, they may have something that happened in their lives. We have something that happens in our lives too. And we definitely understand the environment, the mindset, and the place we need to be in to give out and put out our best work. And so we need to be, healthy. And so it's like the pandemic didn't skip creatives. And we need to be inspired. And then also, if you come to a graphic designer with very little vision or ideas, it's going to take them that much longer to try to
research.
Exactly to come up with some type of concept. If you don't have your brand colors, if you don't have an idea of aesthetic, if you don't have pictures, if you don't even know you don't even know the name of your company. Like it's like that, and people, somebody out there laughing, but it exactly. So, Sierra Currie, aka True Visions Design, please let the people know how they can get in touch with you.
So currently on Instagram, I am Sierra Currie, and it's SIERRACURRIE, as well as my business, True Visions with an S Design. And I also have a website, truevisionsdesign.com. And you can find all my other contact information on either of those from the website as well as email.
Well, thank you so much. Something we haven't touched on, so I want to end it on this note, is that you are truly a woman of faith, and everything you do, including your approach to work, is about pleasing God and making sure that you are in alignment with what He would have you to do. And so, talk about the importance of that as a business owner as we close this up.
Well, thank you for those kind words. I try to keep Him first because none of this would be possible without Him. I always know where my help comes from, my resources, my income, everything. I always give him honor to have and to use me as much as I can be used while I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
and to leave something behind.
Yes, yes. I think it's so critical that you said that because I think that's the difference between a lot of people out here hustling and a lot of people out here, not cutting themselves off, not setting boundaries around their time. When you are an entrepreneur who walks in faith versus fear, and you are on God's divine economy, then you become a lot more brave and courageous because you know who your provider is. It's not that client. It's not necessary. And this is not about doing bad business. This is about understanding this is what I can do. This is when I can do it. And if all of a sudden they're not the client for you, then you trust God because I know you've experienced it. I've experienced it. Sierra, we love to call each other like, let me tell you about God. And
Right?
that's like I look, get hype. And it's like, and it's like, especially when you're starting out, I remember I used to feel like, man, I have to do everything, to please these people and to make sure it's good. Cause you hear all these stories like, I don't want to lose them. I don't want to lose them. I don't have a bad reputation. I don't want this. I don't want that. And it's like McDonald's forget your fries all the time. No shade to McDonald's. Or the other day, they was what was they sold out of? It was important to me too. No, they was sold out of they were sold
Where
out.
the shake machine is
The
always
shake machine is always. I
down.
think it was
It's
soda.
a, it's
It's
all
so much stuff. But guess what? We keep going back. We keep going back. We keep going back. It's not even look. I don't want to get sued by McDonald's. But
one place that don't play about their religion or whatsoever is Chick-fil-A. And look at them thriving.
Chick-fil-A is thriving. And to me, the reason that Chick-fil-A is thriving is because of how they train their employees. I mean, also, they definitely put God.
Teach them so well.
They put God first, but I can't say I agree with all of their uh traditionalism. But
right,
yeah. Look, I got to get that caveat out there. So sometimes he'll go on air, then I'll be like, I'm not eating Chick-fil-A. Then I'll be like, let me get out of the cancel culture realm. But the thing is you're right. They just have it down to a science, and it's really important to them. And I've never been to Chick-fil-A and they told me they were out of anything. And so you're absolutely right. Same as when I go to Valvoline and get my oil change. I mean, those brothers be trained.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what is I want the Valvoline training manual because I mean they be so nice. They make me believe. I mean, every filter I got is bad all of a sudden. It does. It really does.
Whoever started, whoever at the top, it trickles down.
It does.
So it's important to be, have morals, have be a good person, and whatever that means to you.
Yeah, and it's about strong leadership, and it's about your leadership should be so strong, and hopefully you're a servant leader that it's contagious because people don't quit jobs; they quit people. And so, the thing is that if you're a good person as a leader, if you're a good person as a CEO, and I will even say this, even your clients will have grace for you if they know that you are a good person and you're in communication and you're doing your best. And so all of those things are so critical. Well, thank you for joining us this morning and sharing your wisdom.
We could go on and
we could, but I'm off the air in 4 minutes. I'm gonna have to have you back and talk to we're gonna talk through the importance of a website next time. We'll go through that. We just gonna break some things down for some people.
Yes, that would be great.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in this morning, and you have a blessed week.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Again, that was Sierra Currie, owner of True Visions with an S Design. She is a graphic designer. She builds websites. She designs signage. I mean, if it's something to do with graphic arts, she was humble. She does have her degree in graphic arts, but she also has her degree in front end development. And so, and she is constantly pushing the envelope on her gifts and talents. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm not gonna say how old she is, but she's not even 30, and she has a beautiful office space in the city, and she takes her business very seriously. And I am always, always, always impressed, because I'm not sure at that age if I would have had the courage to make the investments that she's made in herself, and to believe in myself that much, to be out here on my own. And so proud of her and everything that she's doing, and we wish her well. Well, guys, it's about that time. I really appreciate you rocking with us this morning. Monday morning is always a jam, and it's always a good time with God. And I am just thankful for each and every WGLB listener. Thankful for the WGLB family. And I will talk to you guys next Monday. Have a blessed and highly favored week. Goodbye. We made it. Awesome. Thanks. So yeah, next week you'll play the recording.